God, I am at the Durban Sharks Rugby game. I have never been to a rugby game in my entire life. Frankly, I only somewhat understand the rules, so I'm going to be learning a little bit as I go along. Durban Sharks, obviously from Durban, South Africa, playing Parma Zebre from Parma, Italy. This is the United Rugby Championship, but it is a crazy league because it has teams in Europe and in South Africa. Like what? You don't have any other league in the world that's like this. You have multiple teams in Italy, the UK, well, specifically Wales, and oh my God, right in the background, overlooking everything, Moses Mabhida Stadium, which is the stadium, for Amazulu FC of Durban, but this is a 55,000 person stadium, one of the things Durban is known for, built specifically for the 2010 World Cup, hoping that the Durban Sharks will actually move into that stadium one day. Oh my God, here at Kings Park, the rugby stadium here, this is incredible. My guess is this holds probably maybe like 40,000 people. The pitch is beautiful. I am sitting in what's called the party section, but it's not really much of a party. It is going to be rather calm. I thought that it was going to be like, you know, the European football atmosphere, the rah-rah, singing, dancing. No, it's none of that. Really, all it is you get a free beer. I don't drink, so that's worthless for me. But regardless, it was only 120 Rand. 120 Rand? That's like 7 euros for us. If you want to sit in like the bleachers, like all the way up there, only 60 Rand. So like 4 euros, 5 euros. Oh my God, it's great. I'm so excited for this. Rugby in America obviously is not one of the most popular sports, so that's why someone for me who follows like legitimately every sport has such little knowledge about it, but it actually is growing in popularity, specifically among the small liberal arts schools that, for example, my school, the college that I attend, rugby is actually probably our biggest sport. The Vassar College women's team actually just won a rugby national championship, so shout out to them. But it is growing slowly. It's a sport because it's similar to football. I don't think it will ever be able to jump up that much just because football has that much of a grip on the popularity in America, so I don't really see people jump into this. But it's really cool to see a sport that I've heard so much about on the international stage now in person. So I have followed the Rugby World Cup loosely over time. South Africa recently just won a Rugby World Cup championship, but I am very familiar with the New Zealand All Blacks, the most successful team ever, not just in rugby, but across any sport ever. Just their play style, their concept of how you want to play on the All Blacks, you got to play in the New Zealand Domestic League. I find them so cool. Okay, this stadium, I find it really cool. Obviously, like you have the regular seats, but there is a pool down the low in like the kids section. The suites are over there, and just the fact that, okay, I'm coming from America and I go to so many sports games in America, and people have frankly been priced out, not just by ticket prices where you are paying for nosebleeds, like if you were to go to something like this, like literally like 60, 70 US dollars, but then they get you with the parking that you're gonna have to pay another $40, $50, and then the food prices, how they hit you with a hot dog and fries, boom, that's $17 right there. Water bottle, boom, that's $8. No, this is affordable for everyone in Durban. So yeah, I'm loving this. I'm really excited to see what the atmosphere is like. One thing I noticed is the clientele of who's at the rugby game is very different from the demographics in Durban as a whole. I mean, this is something that I have to point out because I am here living in Durban as a sociology student, so I feel like it would be an injustice for me not to mention this very quickly. It is a very big white crowd. Very big white crowd, even though the white population in Durban is only around 10% of the overall population. It's from like just basic observation, probably like 50%, maybe even more at this rugby game. But oh my God, like, you know, that's enough yapping. Let's get into this game. And we are underway.
They wing.
All right, so first half was pretty cool. The Sharks are up 28-17. I am slowly figuring out the rules. The scoring is actually a lot similar to football. Second half now has just started. I have moved from the section that's here to more along the baseline just to give me a whole different perspective. I actually like this view being at the center of the field so much more. All right, so that wraps it up. The Sharks won 35-34. And honestly, okay, it's cool that I was here. I finally saw pro rugby. And if I'm living in South Africa, I have to come to this. But honestly, I was not impressed with the atmosphere whatsoever. I started getting a little bored. It felt like people came here not specifically to root for the Sharks, but more so just as kind of like an activity to go to and like use this as a spot to hang out. There's like nothing wrong with that. People do that with baseball games all the time, but I'm glad I came.